Welcome back guys, it's Kushal here. In this video I'll be showing you how easy it is to turn a boring photo like this one here into a banging one like this one, all on your phone. So let's go. So I'm using my Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus to take these photos with the best shot feature enabled, which really works well to give me like a good composition. So let me take a few photos and we'll look at the results now. A quick tip, if you're taking photos of a few small objects and notice that some parts are a bit blurry, like the Lego arm you can see here, you need to make sure all the objects are in the same plane. This is because the depth of field is really shallow, meaning that the camera is only focusing on a narrow plane. So you need to make sure all the objects are in line. So when I took the photo again here, I made sure that all the objects were lined up and everything looked sharp and crispy. So the app that I'm using to edit my photos is the Adobe Lightroom photo editor and Pro Camera. So I normally use the PC version of this, but they also have a mobile version that is free to use. There are some features that you're not able to use them unless you pay for the subscription, which I do, so I've got those features and I'll show you them as well. But let's upload the photo now. They should show you a whole camera roll. You can upload whichever photo you want. I think that this one's the best, so I'll use this one. And yeah, let me show you the features first. The first feature is selective editing. So this allows you to select certain parts of your photo, like I'm doing here, and change any properties like exposure or contrast just for the parts you've selected. So the next feature is the healing brush. This works much better when it's on actual skin and not on a bottle like this, but what it does is it uses another part of the subject and it copies the color and the texture and it blurs out the part that you want to heal. So you just color in the part you don't want and it blocks it out. Then you have your standard crop and rotate tool, so you can rotate the photo however you want or crop it in and out. That's pretty much on every editing app, so it should be pretty basic to use. Then you have profiles, which are basically just like filters, and they do have quite a lot here. There's lots of color and monochrome ones. You can just select any one you want, so like this one here. And the good thing about this app is you can hold down to see what your photo looks like originally, which is quite handy. And we've also got the slider here, which lets you like set the intensity of the filter as well. The auto edit button does help slightly change the photo, but if you do want to be more creative, I recommend just using the features yourself. So let's start off with the lighting features. So you first have the exposure slider, which helps you increase or decrease the whole brightness of your photo. You then have the contrast slider, which helps change the difference in colors. That's the way I like to describe it. So you can see if you reduce the contrast, it goes really whitish, and if you increase it, the colors really pop. You then have the highlight slider. So if you look here, the table and like the bottle cap, they're all bright colors and they're white, so you tend to they tend to blow out when the photo is too bright. So reducing that helps you bring back all the features in the white parts. So you obviously then have the shadows slider. So you can see here, making the shadows darker and making the shadows lighter. If you're losing some detail, you can brighten up the shadows and get the details back. If the shadows are too bright, you can just make more shadows. Increasing the whites, obviously the white colors get brighter, and the blacks makes the blacks darker or lighter, depending on how you want to change the photo. So moving on to the color features, we have the temperature to make it warmer and colder. We have the tint, so you can make it more pink or more green, whichever you like. And then we have the vibrance, which makes the colors more vibrant or less vibrant if you want. And you also have the saturation, which increases or decreases the pigmentation in each color. And then you also have lots of other effects, so you have stuff like texture. The good thing about this is if you have a photo that's slightly hazy or blurry, if you reduce it here, you can see the text isn't as clear. And then you increase the texture and it makes the text look really clear, and even the surface of the bottle, you can see all the lines of the plastic, it looks great. Clarity just makes the whole photo look at that, it just looks so cool, like a different photo. Even look at like the clarity in the wheels. When you reduce it, it's alright, but when you increase it, you can see the texture in the wheels. I love it, it looks so great. I always increase the clarity in my photos because it just gives it like a different pop. It just looks great. Dehazing, what that helps is if you're ever shot in like an event where it's like smoky or got like a smoke machine, it's quite hard to see through it, so this helps get rid of that difficulty. And vignetting, if your edges are quite dark, it helps you brighten up the edges of the photo to get rid of dark corners. Now the grain amount, I don't see why anyone would actually use this. I hate grainy photos, so I never actually use the grain amount. People like to make it like a different effect, but I never use it that much. But you can change the size of the grain and the range as well. So it's personal taste. If you like that, then you use it. There are lots of other sharpening tools and ways to reduce graininess, and there's loads of filters and colors as well. What I'm going to do is now, I know it's getting quite long, so I'm just going to get straight into editing and I'll go through all the features now and I'll see what I like to use, what I don't, and how I edit this photo. So let's go. One thing I haven't gone through yet is noise reduction. So what this does is changes the amount of like graininess or noise in your photos. So you can see here as I add the noise reduction, it gets rid of all the grain and makes it smooth. If you look at the microwave here, if I take it off, it's really grainy. But if I put it back on, and bam, yeah, you can see it's just completely smooth. So I always do it a bit to my photos to make it a bit more clear and smoother. There are also lots of optic options here, so chromatic aberration and lens profile corrections. These are things that are just like due to the way that the lens is made, you'll have certain like defects, and you can see here the distortion. It changes the way that, because some lenses make it a bit wider or narrower, so it changes distortion. And you can also see that as I've taken the photo, the software can recognize what camera I've used or what lens. So it says here S9 26mm, so it knows exactly what lens I'm using as well, which is quite handy. And you've also got the filters. I'm not going to add it because I've already changed all the colors myself, but as you can see, it does make a really like big difference to the photo. Look at it before, it was really dull and orangey. I made it cooler, as in cooler temperature wise and looks wise as well, but the clarity as well just looks great. And I think overall it was a really good quick edit. It didn't take me that long, about 2-3 minutes. I sped it up for you guys as well, but it's a really cool edit and it changes the way your photos look. And you can apply these kind of edits to any type of photos you have. Even if you take photos in your camera, you can whack it onto your phone and do edits like this. I look at the details in these bottles, it just looks crazy. The edit's such a simple edit and it just looks awesome. I also love that this app has lots of different sharing options and exporting options, so it's easy just to save and upload it to wherever you want to put it. It's also got the version history as well, so if you, I think it does it quite frequently, so if you suddenly change your mind and realize that you didn't want to edit it and go to a halfway point, you could do that as well. Or you can just reset straight back to the original photo and start again fresh if you feel like you want to do that. I hope you guys enjoyed that. As you can see, it's really easy to edit your photos. It only takes a few minutes and it makes a hell of a difference to your photos. Do drop a comment letting me know how you found this video, and if you have tried this app, how you find it as well. I do have all the links to all my social media in the bio, so if you do try this app and have your transformation photos and want to show me them, I'll be more than happy to see them and review them as well. Please do like this video and subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be posting some more reviews, some more photography tutorials as well, so I hope to see you guys soon. Take care, bye.